Jai Shri Ram. So we now begin 52, Canto 52. Ravan carries away Sita. Sore distressed to perceive the aforesaid king of vultures mortally wounded by Ravan, Sita, whose countenance resembled the full moon, for her part wailed as follows, addressing Sri Ram. Omens, dreams, and sight of the movement of birds and deer, etc., to one's left or right, and the hearing of their cries are invariably found to foreshadow joy or sorrow in the case of human beings. Surely, O Ram, you do not perceive the great calamity in the shape of my abduction which has befallen you, although deer and birds are moving in a direction foreboding evil in order to indicate my abduction, O scion of Kakushtha. Here lies on the ground, mortally wounded due to my misfortune, the bird Jatayu, who actually arrived here to rescue me out of compassion, O Ram. Deliver me today, O Ram, a scion of Kakushtha, and Lakshman, so that Sita, a lovely lady who was greatly alarmed, cry bitterly at such a pitch that those listening at close quarters at least might hear her. Ravan, the suzerain lord of ogres, darted towards the aforesaid Sita, whose garland and ornaments had been squeezed and who was wailing like a woman without her lord. Ravan approached the aforesaid Sita, who was embracing huge trees like a climber entwining them, saying again and again, "Save, save me, O trees!" For his destruction, the ogre, seized by the hair, Sita, who was crying, "Ram, O Ram," bereft as she was of Sri Ram in the forest. When Sita, a princess of the Videha territory, was assaulted in this way, the whole world, including the animate and the inanimate creation, went out of order and was enveloped in thick darkness. The wind did not blow at that moment, and the sun grew lustreless. Perceiving by his divine eye Sita, laid violent hands on by Ravan, the glorious Lord Brahma exclaimed, our purpose is accomplished." Seeing Sita seized by Ravan, all the great sages dwelling in the Dandak forest and mentioned below felt agonized. They were also highly rejoiced to foresee the destruction of Ravan, brought about as a matter of course. Nay, laying hold of Sita, who was crying, "Ram, O Lakshman," Ravan, the ruler of ogres, rose to the skies. With her limbs possessing the hue of her ornaments of molten gold and clad in yellow silk, the princess, for her part, shone like lightning athwart a cloud. Because of her yellow garment being shaken violently by the wind, Ravan shone all the more brightly like a mountain illumined by a fire. The coppery and fragrant petals of lotuses dropping from the person of the aforesaid supremely blessed Sita, a princess of the Videha territory, covered Ravan. Nay, shaking violently in the air, her silken garment possessing a golden hue shone like a cloud rendered coppery by the sun's rays at dusk. Lying in the lap of Ravan in the air, that fair countenance of Sita did not shine, bereft as it was of Sri Ram, any more than a lotus detached from its stalk. Marked with a fair brow, lovely locks, and charming eyes, and resembling the interior of a lotus in hue, nay, devoid of scars and adorned with white, entirely spotless and brilliant teeth, her countenance, placed in the lap of Ravan in the air, resembled the moon emerged after splitting a cloud. Shaken with fear of Ravan, that lovely face of Sita, which had just burst into tears, although her tears had been wiped off, nay, which was pleasing like the moon to look upon, was marked with a shapely nose and beautiful coppery lips, and possessed a golden hue, did not look charming in the heavens in the absence of Sri Ram any more than the moon risen during the day. Confined in the lap of the dark-bodied Ravan, the said princess of Mithila, who possessed a golden hue, shone brightly like a girth of gold round a dark blue elephant. Nearing Ravan's back, the said daughter of Janak, who possessed a yellowish hue resembling the filaments of lotus, and was bright as gold, nay, who was adorned with jewels of refined gold, shone like lightning flashing athwart a cloud. Due to the jingling of ornaments, the aforesaid Sita, the king of ogres, appeared like a clear, dark blue, rumbling rain cloud. While Sita was being borne away, a shower of flowers dropped from her head, rained on all sides on the earth's surface. Raised on all sides by the tempest released by the vehemence of Ravan, however, the rain of blossoms covered the 10-headed monsters once more. That shower of flowers descended on Ravan, as does the immaculate belt of the lunar mansions descend on Mount Meru, the foremost of mountains. A bejeweled anklet of gold, loosened from a foot of Sita and resembling a circular flash of lightning, dropped on the earth's surface. Ruddy like the shoots of certain trees, the aforesaid princes of the Videha kingdom adorned the dark-limbed king of ogres as a girth of gold would adorn an elephant. Betaking himself to the heavens, the younger brother of Kuver, Ravan, bore away the celebrated Sita, who was blazing with her own effulgence as a big meteor in the heavens. The aforesaid jewels of Sita, shining like fire, dropped on the earth's surface with a jingling sound like worn away meteors falling from the firmament. Dissociated from the heart of the aforesaid princes of the Videha territory and dropping down, the necklace of pearls, which shone like the moon, looked like the Ganga descending from the heavens. Violently shaken by a portentous blast and inhabited by birds of every description, the trees with their topmost branches set into motion said, as it were, "Don't be afraid." With their faded lotuses and frightened fishes and other aquatic creatures, the lotus ponds, as it were, felt sorry for the princes of Mithila as for a dispirited friend. Collecting from all sides, lions, tigers, as well as other beasts and birds, angrily rushed behind on that occasion, following the shadow of Sita. While Sita was being carried away by Ravan, mountains with their faces bathed in tears in the form of cataracts and with their arms uplifted in the form of peaks, screamed as it were. Seeing Sita, a princess of the Videha territory, being borne away by Ravan, the glorious sun itself felt wretched with its splendor totally eclipsed and its orb rendered pale. Righteousness is extinct. How then could truth prevail? Guilelessness is no more, nor is there kindness. Now that Ravan is carrying away Sita, a princess of the Videha kingdom and the consort of Sri Ram, so did all living beings lament in multitudes. Even fawns shed tears with dejected looks, greatly alarmed. Seeing Sita fallen in great distress as aforesaid, and uttering a loud cry, and looking at her again and again with eyes shorn of their lustre, the deities presiding over the forest found their limbs seized with a violent tremor through fear of Ravan. To his own destruction, Ravan, however, carried away the aforesaid princess of the Videha territory, that strong-minded lady who was crying in sweet accents, "Lakshman, O Ram," and repeatedly looking towards the earth's surface, whose hair had got dishevelled and whose auspicious mark on the forehead had effaced. Bereft of her own kin and failing to perceive both Ram and Lakshman, the aforesaid princess of Mithila, for her part, who had beautiful teeth and was distinguished by a bright smile, was oppressed by the weight of fear, and her face grew pale. Thus ends Canto 52 in the Aranyakand of the glorious Ramayan of Valmiki, the work of a rishi and the oldest epic. Jai Shri Ram.